they had Black Theater, Bonner Theater down on Halifax Street, two of them. We used to love going there to, had a lot of cowboy stories during that time. I mean, the movies. So Arthur and I think Shirley was probably too young. Usually it was Arthur and I would go down to the movies. And that movie house used to be packed. It was all black. It used to be all black. And I think in Petersburg, their movies were called Bluebird. Down on Sycamore Street, only white went there. And when I came here, whites went to the movies here, and blacks would go around the back. They would sit upstairs, but the Black Theater you sit, just blacks in there went there. So you just went in and sit down. Lord, it was so cheap, I guess maybe about 25 cents, if not cheaper. Everything was cheap. Eggs was maybe about 10 or 20 cents. Bread was like 12 cents a loaf. I remember going to the store for Mama many times getting a loaf of bread. 12 cents. Yeah, that was the olden days. The blacks lived in a community to themselves, and the whites lived in Colonial Heights and Walnut Hills, and all them places to themselves. Right after Mama's death, we came to Lawrenceville. I think that was I finished school in 48. All of this took place in the 50s because I finished school in 48. I went to Virginia State for about a year. I don't remember what my major was then. I don't remember. And I can remember when Fort Lee was there, and they would only hire people there, real fair, black people. Fort Lee in Petersburg and Hopewell, they call it now. Fort Lee, the army camp. During that time, if you was kind of light, you didn't have to be really light, but if you was real dark, they didn't hire you. But they would hire you if you were kind of light. Then they went to court about that. So about people hiring, sometimes they'll be so light you couldn't tell they weren't white. So then when they went to court behind people that are black, because the way they were doing was just hiring light-skinned people, then they started hiring by the color that wrote out there. You wouldn't have to worry about what color they was. You knew they was black. So that's when they stopped hiring them real light, and they'd get the darkest person, I guess, in line and hire him. That's what they did. They went to court before integration about the hiring policy, and that was U.S. Army base. I mean, I'm used to them because I was in Petersburg, but this happened all over the United States, all of the Army bases. When they passed the law then, everybody started hiring them. Then you had light-skinned people, didn't want to deal with the blacks, were sort of segregated among themselves. I mean, light-skinned blacks didn't want to deal with dark-skinned blacks. Yeah, because of here, they tell me they had a church that light-skinned people sat on one side and dark-skinned folks sat on the other. And they say that was true. And I guess that wasn't just here. That probably was everywhere. Because you didn't want to be associated with blacks because they got the name of being nasty and dirty, and they steal. The name they gave blacks. They couldn't be trusted. I mean, darker blacks, because they were all dark black. You see, back during that time, they was light, like this picture, The Imitation of Life. You seen that? When this black woman had this light-skinned daughter who could pass for white. She went to the white school because they thought she was white. Till the mama went there to carry, it was raining, to carry her umbrella or something for the rain. That's when they found that she was black and they put her out. And as soon as she got old enough, she went up north and passed for white. And that's what a lot of the blacks did. They had children by their masters, and they were real light. And when they were light and grown, they left. They were the kind that took in the house to be housemaids, the light-skinned ones. there's still segregation between blacks, light-skinned folks and dark-skinned folks. But maybe that's changing now.